the lion hunter of the desert, the invincible warrior of Badr, the master of martyrs, the nightmare of the polytheists, the lion of Allah, Hazrat Hamza. The birth of Hazrat Hamza. According to narrations, Hazrat Hamza was born in 569 or 570 in Mecca. His mother was Hala bint Buhaib, the cousin of the mother of the Prophet Muhammad, Hazrat Amina. Since both Prophet Muhammad and Hazrat Hamza were nursed by the same woman, the slave of Abu Lahab, named Suwayba, they are considered foster brothers. They were also close friends in their childhood and youth. The conversion of Hazrat Hamza to Islam. By the 6th year after the Prophet Muhammad received the revelation, the polytheists of Mecca were still not able to bear the rise of Islam. As they saw their most trusted figures enter the fold of Islam, they became even more furious. They followed the Prophet Muhammad and tried every method of oppression to turn him away from his path. One day, in the 6th year of his prophethood, the Prophet Muhammad was near the Safa hill. The backward polytheists were waiting for an opportunity to harass him. Abu Jahl, along with Adi ibn Hamra and Ibn al-Azda, stood before the Prophet and began insulting him. They went even further by throwing dirt on his blessed head and spitting on him. One of them even tried to step on the Prophet's neck. After torturing him, they left. The compassionate and patient Prophet Muhammad did not respond and went home. Meanwhile, a freed slave of Abdullah ibn Judayy, who was near the Kaaba, witnessed the incident and heard the insults. Hazrat Hamza, who was a hunter, was returning from a hunt, with his sword at his waist and his bow around his neck. He usually passed by the Kaaba on his way home and visited the Quraysh meeting before going back home. As he approached the Kaaba, the freed slave of Abdullah ibn Judayy ran towards him and said, "O son of Umar, if you had seen what Abu Jahl and his companions did to your nephew, you wouldn't have been able to bear it." Hazrat Hamza was immediately shocked. Without waiting for further explanation, he asked, "What did they do to him?" The slave replied, "They insulted him and left him there after causing all sorts of harm." Hazrat Hamza immediately asked, "Did you see this with your own eyes?" When the slave confirmed it, Hazrat Hamza, filled with fury, set off for the Kaaba. Hazrat Hamza was known as one of the bravest and most respected warriors of Quraysh. He was known to roar in the face of injustice and was ready to fight even at the cost of his life. When he reached the Kaaba, he went straight to the group where Abu Jahl and his companions were gathered. As soon as he saw Abu Jahl, he lifted his bow and struck him on the head with it. The blow caused Abu Jahl to stagger and bleed. Hazrat Hamza, after calming down, confronted Abu Jahl and said, "Are you the one who insulted my nephew? Well, I'm now following his religion, and I say what he says. If you have the strength, do to me what you did to him." Abu Jahl was caught off guard by the power and courage of Hazrat Hamza and was left speechless. Trying to justify his actions, he said, "You know he insulted our idols, he has strayed from our ancestors' path, and he has started a new path." Hazrat Hamza interrupted him and, filled with the excitement of his fresh faith, declared loudly, "Who among you is more foolish than worshipping idols and bowing to lifeless statues?" He then publicly declared his faith, saying, "I testify that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad, PBUH, is his messenger." After this declaration, the polytheist stood up in an attempt to challenge Hazrat Hamza, but he boldly responded, "So what if I leave your ancestors' religion? Muhammad's religion is the truth, and from now on, I will not leave it. If you are truthful, come and stop me." The polytheists were left speechless in the face of his determination. Abu Jahl admitted that he had insulted Hazrat Hamza's nephew and that he deserved this treatment. However, he hoped to win Hazrat Hamza over by admitting his mistake. As Hazrat Hamza left the gathering, he was filled with a sense of victory, yet Satan tried to sow doubt in his mind. He tried to make Hazrat Hamza regret his decision by reminding him of his noble status and his ancestors' religion. However, Hazrat Hamza, not allowing these doubts to affect him, went to the Kaaba and sought refuge in Allah, asking for clarity in his heart. The next day, Hazrat Hamza went to the Prophet Muhammad and shared everything that had happened. The Prophet Muhammad prayed for him and shared the teachings of Islam, including the consequences of hell and the blessings of paradise. These words filled Hazrat Hamza's heart with peace, and he immediately declared his faith, "I testify that you are true. Teach me your religion." The conversion of Hazrat Hamza to Islam brought great relief to the Muslim community, as the polytheists could no longer oppress them as they had before. Hazrat Hamza's conversion marked the fall of one of the key strongholds of the polytheists and the rise of a new and powerful ally for the Muslims.